We're just going to keep throwing this guy's name in trades because that's what we seem to do here for San Antonio and everyone else. The guy we can expect, Keldon Johnson's in another trade. Do we like it? Do we not like it? We're going to break it down here on Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. Again, on the road to 1K, hit the subscribe button. Take a spur of the moment to get every Spurs moment. We want to get there before the season starts, and it looks like we can, but we want to get there as quick as possible. So appreciate everybody, and let's grow together. But this was reported on a local Lakers thing by Maxwell Ogden. Affordable 3-and-D wings the Lakers must trade for in 2020 before the 2025 deadline. Cool. He's reporting on the LA Lakers as he should. He's a Lakers fan. Keldon Johnson's name gets brought up into it. Now, okay, now we got to talk about it. Now we're talking about the Spurs here. And this is what he says. There was a time when Keldon Johnson looked to be a part of the next big thing for the San Antonio Spurs. He won an Olympic gold medal with Team USA in Tokyo in 2020, shot 39.8% from beyond the arc in 2021-2022, and averaged a career-high 22 points in 22-23. Since the arrival of Victor Wembanyama, just last season, by the way, for everyone who forgets, however, it appears as though San Antonio no longer values Johnson in the way they once did. If you listen to everybody else, there is some truth to that. And that makes sense. But again, it's been one season. So as we see here, an Olympian and a champion, then shot almost 40% from three. So he's progressing. And then averaged 22 points a game leading the team. Progressing. And then had to adjust to a role, and he didn't adjust to the role quite well. That's okay. It, again, happens. I've spoken on it before. He's been in the weight room. He's been losing weight. He's been toning up. He's been getting himself ready for this upcoming season. But harder to see there. Let's bring it here. Lakers can't quite afford Russell for Johnson swap. D'Angelo Russell is the guy you bring up in this trade, of course. It's D'Lo, Maxwell Lewis, a 2029 first-round pick from the Lakers for Keldon Johnson. That's not a horrible deal. It's going to be honest here. It's really not that bad of a deal. It comes down to, again, like with every deal, like the Brandon Ingram deal or the Zach LaVine deal or whatever hypothetical deal that's been brought up because Keldon Johnson's name gets moved around crazily. Do you like Keldon Johnson enough wanting to keep him? What does this D'Angelo Russell thing do? Okay, so you get a guy in D'Angelo Russell who is on an expiring contract, so basically you're going to get him off the books. You get a 2029 Lakers first-round pick, which could be a high-end first-round pick because LeBron's going to be there a couple more years. Anthony Davis may not stay long after LeBron tenure's over, and we'll see what the Lakers turn into afterwards. It would be Keldon Johnson, Alex Caruso, Austin Reeves, and then whatever they can put around the guy. So that pick's probably a good pick. And then Maxwell Lewis is a guy who can shoot a bit. They wanted to put him around AD and LeBron that way. That'd be a good person to put around Wemby, but I don't think he'd really fit too much in the rotation minutes-wise. But we would see if he could develop into that. It just comes down to, again, do you want Keldon Johnson gone? I don't want Keldon Johnson gone unless it's for something of note. I understand that next year's free agent class, you have Jimmy Butler, you've got Jalen Johnson on the lower tier. You've got, obviously, LeBron technically there. Like, you've got a lot of people in the 2025 free agent class that are available. It's just, we have the cap space regardless. Like, I get, like, Jimmy Butler's there, too. Like, we have the cap space regardless. I don't want to, and I also don't want to cap strain this team to try to get something when you could also build for the future and still build for now. You keep Keldon Johnson. You keep Keldon Johnson, you keep that second unit great. You can go get someone if he's there, Jalen Johnson, that kind of guy. Trey Murphy III's another guy that's in next year's free agent class, possibly. We'll see how the year goes. You get players like that to go along with Wemby, and you fill this roster out perfectly. And you know what then happens over time? You don't have to just completely build it up and then break it down real quick for no reason. You get to actually have this elongated thing, and Keldon Johnson can come off the bench. We'll see how he's on a bench role this year. Maybe at the trade deadline, I'm singing a different tune too, and I'm like, let's get this guy gone. Get him out of here. I'll be the first one to say that I was wrong. Let's should have got him out of there. But there's no reason to right now to get rid of him. There's no reason to. And if he adjusts to the bench role, plays great defense, shows he can be a burst off the bench with Tre Jones, with Zach Collins and others, then what's the problem? I don't know what the problem is. But the guy we could be getting, I'll show in a second. But while they have the draft picks and the swing deal for a star, Keldon Johnson's their only player who would be included in these trade rumors, a physical forward who can occasionally hit a big shot. The Lakers might be interested in trading for him. The Lakers would have interest in Keldon Johnson. He fits because you have the redundancy of D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. You don't need both of them. Keldon Johnson makes the Lakers better now. D'Angelo Russell, what you'd be getting in that guy, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists last year. Very good three-point shooter, especially when he gets hot. When he gets hot, he can shoot with the best of them. But the thing about this guy here is, where are the minutes? Where are the minutes for him? He is a true guard. He's not like he can guard a forward or anything. He's not a great guard as is when it comes to playing defense. So you've got Stephon Castle. He's going to play. He's a rookie. You drafted him high for a reason. You've got Chris Paul, veteran guy coming in there, going to learn. You want him to progress. Or you want him to help progress. You've got Devin Vassell, another guy who is progressing, and you don't want to stunt his growth because he has the potential to be an all-star caliber player, i.e. like DeJounte Murray. And then we've got Tre Jones, who has been a Spur for the last 3-4 seasons, and why would you want, or for the last 4 seasons, but like, why would you want to get rid of that and just diminish his minutes? I understand that D'Angelo Russell is a better player for player than Tre Jones, but what the Spurs need is a guy who's going to play tenacious defense, going to be scrappy, going to make plays, and going to play off of people. And that's not D'Angelo Russell. I don't know why. He just doesn't fit the roster. So you'd be doing it specifically for a plunge next season, and if that's the case, why? You do it for the plunge next season, and you do it for the pick in 2029. But they've got so many picks. I mean, I guess you can always you can't have too many picks, but I just think that Keldon Johnson's an actual asset that could be used elsewhere. I don't think it's necessary to trade him in this trade. Johnson is a valuable bench player on the Spurs, but he clearly is the odd man out, as we've seen. If the Lakers offer a solid young piece as well as even more draft flexibility, the Spurs have to consider that deal. I agree, they would have to consider it. But it is, again, I do not do this deal preseason. You have to do this deal like at the deadline, and this would be if Keldon Johnson's not working out. In this deal, the Spurs would have enough money to sign an elite free agent 2025 class. As I said, Jimmy Butler, Fred VanVleet's another one, as well as proven NBA talents. The Spurs could also use extra money to extend Jeremy Sochan, which I think they should, as long as he takes the development steps that we think he's going to, but that won't be a max deal. And lastly, Johnson's contract, which isn't massive, which is why I don't... The books in San Antonio is nothing that needs to be concerned about at all. But it's on a 4-year, $74 million contract, a front-loaded deal. And with that deal, it's $19 million early, decreasing in figures over 17.5 over the next couple campaigns from there. But Keldon Johnson, the guy that loves to be talked about in the San Antonio Spurs fan base and everything about him. He became the scapegoat for the team being bad, even though the team was going to be bad anyways. When you start Jeremy Sochan at your point guard to just start and be like, we'll see, you weren't planning on winning. This season was to see how good this alien is, and he showed to be everything that we thought he was going to be, and maybe some. Let me know in the comments if, again, you want to trade Keldon Johnson. We just throw him around we just throw this man around. It's like, hey, here you go. Take him. We don't want him. I don't know. Everyone just throws his name around, and I feel kind of bad for the guy, to be quite honest with you. I don't think he needs to be in all these trade things, and I get that these are just some lower-level reports, but you can't tell me that Sports Illustrated continuing to just push, okay, Brandon Ingram, get Keldon out of there. Like, I think it's crazy. But let me know if you guys think that Keldon Johnson should be moved. I think we should wait because he's 24 years old, young, and definitely an ascending prospect. He just had a down year. People are allowed those, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This has been Spurs Digest with Keenan Warner. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you guys very soon.